So again, I'm going to be talking about road mapping a career in gaming and esports. So thank you so much for attending. So next slide. Cool. So I'm going to get started. So how I started. Next slide. So that's a photo of me dancing at that time. I was a confused high school student. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I didn't know what kind of jobs were out there for me. And I'm sure a lot of us face this issue nowadays when we're growing up. I just knew I liked dance, but I also played a lot of video games. So next slide. So that character on the left is actually my World of Warcraft paladin. I've been playing games ever since I could remember, all the way from like RuneScape, WoW, and League of Legends. And I'm sure like a lot of us, when we're getting into games, we obviously the first step is to enjoy video games first, and that's kind of what I did. So I still raid to this day, and that's my transmog. But that's kind of what got me into this industry, is because my love for gaming. So next slide. So during that time, I got started because I learned the ropes through not being in esports first, but I actually got my first job doing corporate finance in high school during my senior year in college. Basically, a TLDR of that is I basically got my ass kicked by my managers, my mentor, and having to learn like real corporate finance for the first time was really, really difficult. And I think that's kind of thing that allowed me to learn what this world is, because in school they don't really teach you that kind of discipline and that kind of level of thinking. And so throughout high school and college, I was working at Microsoft at that time, crunching numbers and learning databases and learning how finance worked. So that's kind of how I learned the rope there, and that's kind of what built my foundation to getting into the gaming esports industry. So next slide. Through Microsoft and through dance, dance also taught me how to be really involved in the community. I think a lot of us don't know what we all love being something bigger than ourselves, and dance was that for me. Through dance, I got to meet a lot of people. I got to organize a lot of events like this, but instead of playing video games, we were dancing. And that got me really in love with the grassroots movement of things. And that's kind of why, gaming was like the next big thing for me. And that's why I started the University of Washington Gaming Association. I saw that there was a huge collegiate esports community like this in Seattle, similar to what we have here at OP Live. I think that was really cool to see this now and see that everyone around the world is doing something in gaming esports related. And so I did the same at the University of Washington after seeing the potential at Heroes of the Dorm, which is the Blizzard TESPA event every year. It's a super hype event that was in Seattle in 2016, and it grew exponentially ever since. So next slide. And basically what that led to is my first ever pro esports gig. So I was actually an analyst for Team SoloMid during season 6 when Yellowstar joined the roster. I was an analyst doing a lot of the jungle scouting, and the skill that really got me involved in analyst mode was really all the finance stuff I learned at Microsoft. Like all of jungling and all of League of Legends is all number crunching. Like, you should have seen the spreadsheets we made when we're back in the TSM days. We made so much spreadsheets, and these were all the skills I learned at Microsoft. So the number and the finance and all that stuff, we weren't doing like finance planning. We were actually doing jungle planning, which is like, what level do we need to back in? What level is Reign over doing camps in? Like, all these skills and all these disciplines that I learned from finance all applied to my first gig at TSM. So that was like a really big eye-opener, was like, wow, like I did all this at Microsoft, but just applied in a different way. And that was when I had to do TSM jungling. So next slide. So yeah, what did I learn from all this? Next slide. First off, it's okay to not know what you want in life. So what that means is really you don't know, like you might wake up one day and realize you didn't want to do finance like I did. I woke up one day and was like, yo, like this gaming esports things is really cool, and I know I don't want to do finance anymore. I did it for about 4 years, but I took everything I learned from finance and I took that to the gaming esports industry. And so what I did was I tried new things and I got involved. So even though I did the TSM stuff, I still didn't see myself doing a lot of that number crunching stuff, even though that was something I was like disciplined at. I still gave it a try, and I still jumped into the gaming esports industry because of that. And the third thing I learned was get involved. Like, don't just stand on the sidelines. A lot of us like watching esports. A lot of us like being fans of something, but it's really a lot more exciting when you jump in. Like, I got someone I know, actually sitting right there, Chris Allison right here. I met him about a year and a half ago. He started his own company recently. Congratulations. After starting an esports program at his university, and he decided to jump in. And by jumping in, he's now traveling to all these gaming esports events. He's came all the way from Missouri to come to this event. So I guess like part of esports is to really jump in and get involved at that level, or go to the events that you always wanted to go to. So one of the top events I always wanted to go to was Worlds. So it's going to be in Korea this year, and I think one of my dream passions is just go out there and see Worlds for what it is. And other events I went to was like TwitchCon. So basically, all the money I made at Microsoft went into gaming esports. So I took all the money I made throughout college and was like, I need to get out there. There's nothing really going on in Seattle outside of PAX West. I'm sure we feel the same for whatever state you're in. Just really save up that money and go travel. Like, a lot of these people are out here. Like, Tyler is in stage. I met a lot of my friends through esports in traveling to these events. So yeah. The fifth thing was that really just apply what you learn. Like, everything is really relevant. Like the grassroots breakdance stuff I just did, that grassroots stuff in breakdancing, that raw energy, you get that from esports too. Like, I heard you guys cheering for the matches earlier, and that same thing applied in gaming esports. That's it. Same thing applied in breakdancing, and I think that's really cool, is to always find that thing that makes you excited. Like, that raw energy you get from watching an Overwatch League, like, don't lose that. And like, whatever next game you do jump into, or whatever next hobby you do get into, it's like, what does that raw energy feel like? And remember that raw energy when watching like an Overwatch League, or when we watch Ninja getting that kills on Fortnite or whatever, right? So that's kind of how I pick the industry I get involved in, was what keeps it raw and what keeps it exciting, what keeps it grassroots. So yeah. The last thing to get into the gaming and esports industry really is to really learn the right skills. I think nowadays you can't get into the industry now by running a World of Warcraft guild. It's really hard now. We actually don't hire at Twitch anymore based on the size of your World of Warcraft guild. So it's really like you have to go out there and find practical experiences to apply it in this esports industry. Right now we're hiring finance managers, business managers, software engineers, all sorts of things. Like, this industry is now maturing at that rate where these skills from the traditional world really start amplifying and really allowing the industry to even grow even further. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So I guess that's like really short, sweet, and simple. I hope that helps. I really would love to see more. So I guess I can chime in a little bit now. So next slide, I think pretty much done, but I still have a lot of time left. So I guess I can talk a little bit more about what the next talk's gonna be about, which is what my director is talking about, which is the Twitch student program. So the Twitch student program really is a way for Twitch, college students, high school students, universities to get involved and build holistic programs. I think in the last 2 years, collegiate esports has really blown up, and it's really allowing us to mature the space by actually providing internships, educational experiences, and actual classes now in gaming esports. So right now, we actually created a program at UCI or other different schools where you can actually take a class on streaming now, where you can actually earn class credit to learn how to broadcast. So we're actually going really above and beyond and see how we can level up the industry even more. I think the coolest thing I met a student, a partner streamer on Twitch. She was able to pay off her college tuition based on the money she's made on Twitch, and also fly her mom and dad to Europe. I think that's like super insane to see these kinds of opportunities being made, and that anyone around the world can pick up a camera, microphone, computer, and just start sharing their ideas, their life to the world. That's then the special place about Twitch. And I think that really resonates with me, that meeting like all these college students now that are like, yo, I'm getting a varsity esports scholarship to play at SBU or at UCI or whatever. Like, this is what we're trying to do, and if you'd like to be a part of that, I'd love to talk to you, get a few minutes with you. I met a lot of collegiate club organizers here already, and I'd love to see how we could grow the scene in the South. So yeah, thank you so much. I'll be like around all night, so yeah, just come hit me up. Really approachable. If you want to get into the space or how to get involved at the local level, I'm super down. There's also the Texas streaming community in the back right there. If you, they do organizations in Dallas, San Antonio, Houston, and Austin. So like if you're in those places too, like come check them out, check their booth. So thank you so much. That's all I have. So I'll be around all day. So thank you.